Good morning, everybody. It's a little later today. It's Saturday, April 11th, 9:04 a.m. I want to just talk about Nancy Guthrie, but I'm just going to talk for a minute here, for a few minutes. I was intending on doing remote viewing on the general. I was intending on doing uh, more videos on, and I will, the Bahamas case, Lynette Hooker. But ever since yesterday, since receiving an email, which I didn't open until later in the day because my grandson was here with me, I can't focus on anything but Nancy Guthrie. I really can't focus on anything else. Where do I start? I've been working on it again this morning as I'm preparing to send updated reports on Nancy Guthrie. I can't focus on anything else. I don't know. I can't. I have been checking in on her location over and over again for several hours, and last night. And I know a lot of you are new here and you don't know me. And it's going to sound crazy. I get it. But I need your prayers. I need your prayers that the reporting that I'm going to send is going to be taken seriously. Because I really, against all odds, I know it's going to sound insane, but I really think she's actually still alive. And for those that are new, I just want to remind you of so many of the cases that I predicted very early on, and I was accurate. Rex Humerman, I knew they were going to eventually look at his wife and daughter, and now there's a lawsuit against them. I'm not saying more than that. I don't want to, be screamed at for victimizing the victims, but I just think there's more there that I'm not going to talk about. I also talked about the judge that was shot by the sheriff and said immediately that I knew there was some porn involved, and it was on the judge, not the sheriff, and that is exactly what turned out to be the case. Melody Buzzard, I know some true crimers thought that Melody was protecting her mother, where Ashley rather was protecting Melody, and I said no, and I was right. And this is not about an ego trip here. It's definitely not about an ego trip because I've been wrong many, many times. But I just don't feel like I'm wrong on this one. And like I said, I cannot even focus on anything but this. Whew. I just want to say a lot of you sorry, I'm just emotional because I was just tapping in with energy. A lot of you send me emails and links to other videos. And I had said here, and I was fully intending on joining our remote viewing group with the Find Me group, with Find Me. But we had talked about in our meeting the risk of working collaboratively and front-loading information. And so I decided I was not going to join the remote viewing because even though I have worked with other psychics on cases, I suddenly felt like it was a potential for front loading. And so while the other member in the group sent me his remote viewing findings on Nancy. I never watched it, and I sent him an email saying, "I just feel like I need to work this one alone because I just have suddenly become aware of the potential of front loading in that situation." Now, let me just be very careful here to be clear. There's a difference between the way we were gonna do it wasn't necessarily, "Here, watch this, and then what do you pick up?" Like, so it was gonna be a sort of a shield against potentially front loading, but front loading means where your brain wants to believe something else that somebody else has said, and you kind of tap into that and maybe can create a scenario in your mind where you believe that somebody else's theory can be accurate in a in the psychic world. And so that's why over and over and over and over and over again, I have said so many times, and some of you just have been here with me for a long time and still ask me to look at other things, Barb. And I don't, and I won't, because no matter, I don't care what you have to say about another psychic's great findings. I'm not ever going to touch another psychic's work and validate it or compare it against my own. It's just not in integrity. It's you run the risk of front loading, and that's why I've never done it. And so as often as I see emails and links and watch this and watch that, I just want to remind everybody I don't. So please just don't ask me to, because I won't. I will not follow someone else's findings on a case. It's just not going to happen. It's just not what we do in the psychic world. It's contaminating what your findings are. It's got the potential to contaminate your findings, and it's just too risky. So I just want you to imagine, well, not imagine, just the reality is, this is the reality. I'm going, and I've been asked to submit my final findings on where Nancy is to the FBI, who are waiting for the results. This is not a joke. This is real. There's a real life out there. This is not made for TV. And so I'm just asking everybody to pray. To pray. Because I really, after revisiting everything this morning, I'm pretty sure I know where she is. And I'm pretty sure she's still alive, as crazy as that sounds. And I know it sounds crazy. And I know I'm going to get hate like I do on every message and video that I post. But just know this is a high vibe channel. And so your hates and your vitriol are just going to be deleted and you'll be blocked. You're totally allowed to question me, but when people come at me with hate, that just is not the energy we want on this platform. So just don't waste your energy or my time and your time. But for those of you that truly want to see Nancy come home, I'm asking for prayers. I'm asking for prayers to help send some energy my way so that I can get out of my ego before I submit my reports, my final report, my latest report, through the Find Me group to the FBI, to the lead investigators in the FBI case of Nancy Guthrie. I really need some prayers that I remain accurate, that I stay consistent, because someone's life is at stake here, if I'm right. So I'm praying and begging that I'm going to be right, that I'll be taken seriously, and then Nancy will be brought home safely soon. There's something very crazy between my chart and Nancy's chart. I don't know. It's been said over and over again by using AI, and I've had people, well, since when do you use Chat GTP? People, AI is everywhere. Google is running on AI now. Like you can't get out of it. It's there. It's the reality of the new world. And I've already paid to have my Vedic astrology chart done. So I already know what it says about my levels of psychic ability and telepathy and everything. But it's the uncanny dozens of times that I have entered into different AI platforms to act as a forensic astrologer, and whether the location and whatnot at the time was accurate, etc. And to compare my astrology chart to hers, it's just wild. In fact, it wasn't even me that compared it the first time. It was chat that suggested that there was some weird link between Nancy and my chart, myself and my chart, her chart and my chart. I don't understand it still to this day. I really don't. But I am so very pulled. So much so that I can't focus on another case right now. I can't focus on it. So I don't mean to cry. I don't mean to, I'm tapped in, man. I'm tapped in, and we need help. Nancy needs our help. And I don't know when I'm going to get out of this energy where I'm just all consumed with staying focused and prayers and tapping into her energy. But I can say this. I would look for some announcements on Nancy Guthrie, if I'm right, at the end of April, 27th, 28th of April, if I'm right. And so I'm going to ask you to stay positive and stay in hope and belief against all odds. I understand how insane it sounds. I get it. Oh, I get it. I truly do. But I think I'm right. And I have been very transparent up here following Sebastian Rogers, saying, I don't have an effing clue. I don't have an effing clue when I was working Sebastian Rogers. That's not the case here. It's not the case here. So again, I just click on the notification bells. I will follow other cases. Again, I want to do some remote viewing on the general, and I definitely want to continue the Bahamas case. I know Ashley's doing a stellar job with it. Love you, Ashley. I don't know, between Brian Etten and Ashley, it's a hard toss up. It truly is. My heart's with both of you. But Ashley, I don't know. I feel like her and I are like long lost soul sisters or something. I know that's a weird thing to say for someone you've never met, but I just feel like she and I are similar. Her being Canadian and whatnot. I don't know. And her talking about how she talks nonstop and drives her husband nuts. I get it. I get it. Anyway, I'm asking for prayers. This is serious. I'm not sitting up here saying that I'm doing something I'm not. I'm not up here saying things that is not true. Um, so let's pray, please. Let's pray that my findings are as accurate as possible, not to the benefit of my ego, to the benefit of Nancy and bringing her home. And let's pray that if I'm right, they're taken seriously this time. And yeah, I don't know. I guess that's all I'm going to say today. I'll try to be back later, but until I get out of this, I don't know. I can't leave this energy. I just don't know how to explain it. I got to hold energy for her. I can't not be back here. So I will be back here today, tomorrow. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to continue to hold space and pray. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you for being here. Do all the YouTubey things. Love and light.